Hi, Brother Denny here. I would like to say I have seen God at His best. Back when I was new in the ministry, I hadn't been saved a couple, 2 or 3 months, I suppose, and I remember I was trying to learn all I could, and I was watching TV and visiting different churches and things, and I remember one night on TV, it was late. There was a fellow on there, and he was talking about prayer cloths. You know, you send some money and get a prayer cloth. So anyway, when he spoke about this green prayer cloth, and I thought, as soon as he said that, I thought, and explained what it was. It was about faith and the connection there. And a lot of people here, we know what the prayer cloth is. It's a point of contact. So anyway, I thought, I'm going to send, so I did. I sent $50 because I had a friend of mine, his name was Ray, and he was a little older than I was, and they said he had a brain tumor in his head, and I started thinking about that, and I just knew if I could get that green prayer cloth, that I just felt like my friend, that God would heal him. So anyway, I sent the money and I waited for the prayer cloth, and it didn't come. I got a letter. In the letter, my wife brought it to me, and she was saying, here they want to know how much, you know, that you want to be blessed with, and dollar amount and this and that. And I said, I don't want the dollar amount. She said, well, that's what it says on there. I said, well, that's not what I want. I want this prayer cloth. I truly believe if I get that green prayer cloth, I guess it was just faith for me. So anyway, I marked it out, or had her mark it out, and I said, they're right in there that I'd rather have something else, like wisdom and knowledge, because I was reading my Bible, and I was, like I said, doing all those things. And anyway, she did, so I get another letter back, and again, they asked how much money you're expecting, you know, and this and that. I scratched it out, or she did, my wife did, and I said, I just put on there, I need the prayer cloth. So she sent it back, and anyway, the next time I got it, it seemed like to me it took a few weeks for all this going on, and finally got that prayer cloth. And I remember as soon as I got it, I called my friend and called him on the phone, and I said, hey Ray, I said, I got this prayer cloth, and I said, I told you that I sent for it, and I said, I got it, and I said, I truly believe that God's going to heal you that tumor in your brain. And I said, they're having a church service over on the south side of the city. I said, let's go over there. So he said, all right. So him and I went and went over there, and we prayed and everything, and just I remember giving that prayer cloth, and I just thought, I just know God's going to do something. And so we left after the church service and everything was over, and got done praying. We was on our way home, and you know, I asked him, you know, I was a young Christian. I said, are you feeling any better? Are you feeling any different? Of course, he wouldn't have known. I mean, you know, you wouldn't know something like that. So anyway, just believing, just kept believing. And anyways, I guess it was, maybe, I don't know, maybe, I'm going to say a month later, maybe, or something. Anyway, this fellow, his brother-in-law was in pretty bad shape, and they said they was visiting him, and I said, well, he didn't live that far from me, and I said, I'd like to go over and visit with your brother-in-law too. So I did, and a buddy of mine was with me, Brother John. I've given other videos, or talked about other videos about Brother John, and I told him about it, and he said, well, I'll go with you. So we went over there, and it was warm out, so everybody was sitting outside, and anyway, it seemed like there was the fella and his brother and a brother-in-law, which was Ray. Well, I didn't tell my buddy John that he was even there, and never told anything about the situation. And so we're all sitting around the table outside there just talking, and all of a sudden my buddy John, he looks at this fella, and he said, look, he said, I don't know you. He said, I don't know anything about you, because we had been praying for the other fella anyway. He said, I don't know you or anything. He said, but God just showed me something. And I looked at my brother John, you know, and I thought, I don't know what he's saying, but so he looked at this fella, and he put his hand on his head, top of his head, and he said, look, he said, I don't know what happened here. He said, but when we was praying, he said, I seen he said, and his way of explaining it, I mean, you know, some people see things different in what God do. He said, I seen God just reach inside your head and move things around. And when he said that, I thought, this guy's got to think he's crazy, you know. And so anyway, that's when I looked over and told him. I said, John, I introduced him to about the situation, and I said, he does have a brain tumor. And he said, well, I didn't know that. He said, I'm just telling you what I saw when we was praying. So anyway, just thought I'd share that with you. Well, so we left, and I remember me and John talking about it, and I said, man, how do you say something? I mean, I don't get things that way, but you know, it's just by faith. He said, that's what I saw. He said, so that's why I told him. He said, and he did. He told the guy, he said, you need to go get that checked. He said, see how that's going for you. So anyway, I don't know, maybe, I'm going to guess it was a few weeks maybe. Anyway, I had seen Ray again, and his wife, and I knew his kids and everything too. And we were talking, and he said, his wife told me, said, you know, said Denny, said, Ray's tumor is gone. And I said, it's gone? She said, yeah. I said, they say that's gone. He had some other problems, said, but that part of it's gone. And I said, well, praise the Lord. I said, I just was believing and believing. I said, I'm sure a lot of other people, it wasn't just me, you know, by no means, it wasn't just me, but I thank God that he did something. And I thought, how awesome is that, you know, when they tell you, you know, that you got a brain tumor, and everybody knows how brain tumors go, and how that works out, but he was a believer. Ray was a believer. I mean, he had been to different churches and elders in them and what have you, and I mean, he truly believed in God. Otherwise, he wouldn't have went that night with me to pray at that other church he'd never been to. And anyway, we were just trusting God for it. You know, we didn't know what else was going to happen. But see, God done an awesome, awesome thing. He healed that man of that brain tumor in his head. And I told my buddy John about it, and when I found out, he said, I told you what I saw. He said, God knows what he's doing, and he was telling me all these things. And like I said, I was a new Christian. But I thought, how awesome is that God sometimes, he'll just let us be a part of those things that he's doing. And in prayer, that's the way we have to look at it. So I just want to share this testimony with you and just thank God that he give us the opportunities. And I'm talking about all of us. I ain't talking about just me, and I ain't talking about Brother John just only. I'm talking about all of us. He put that faith in us. And that's all we have to do is just believe. As a pastor friend of mine says all the time, Pastor Claude, he always says, just believe. Another one he uses too real well. He always says, it ain't over till God says it's over. So it wasn't over for my friend, and I thank God that happened, and it was just a blessing. So I wanted to share that with you today and just tell you how awesome God is. And when I say, I have seen God at his best. So I want you to be blessed today and have a blessed rest of the day. I guess that's a good way to say it, isn't it?